Good morning, everybody. Today is September the 15th, and this is the next chapter of the Gene Pool, Chapter 2, which is New Face. I don't have a whole lot today. I'm feeling a little under the weather. That's why I'm sitting here all wrapped up, but I'm still going to get this chapter out of the way. Not a lot of questions from the first chapter, just one. But I mean, it was the first chapter, so it wasn't like we had gotten too deep into the book. But the question I had was, am I into scary books? Yes, I am. I am a big Stephen King fan. So I grew up off a lot of scary movies and scary books by Stephen King. So that's just, the path I chose to take. That's what I like. But I am writing other genre of books as well. I'm not against writing anything. I just like to stick to what I like. And that's that. So we're going to go ahead and get into the second chapter. And the chapters aren't very long. Like I said, it's my first book. I just wanted to see how it went. And we'll see how the second one goes, and the third one, and the fourth one. They may get a little thicker. But I was just so excited about doing this book. I just went with my heart, and this is what I ended up with. Again, this is what the book looks like. The Gene Pool. Synopsis and a little bit about myself on the back. And let's go ahead and get into the second chapter. New Face, Chapter 2. Darcel. I opened my eyes. It was my mom. We were lying there face to face with her hand on my cheek. "It's time to get up, sweetie," she said. "You have school today." "Are you sure you're ready to go back so soon?" "If you want more time to grieve, I'm pretty sure your teachers will understand." "No, I could use school to take my mind off of things right now, Mom." "Okay, then, if you say so." I thought at least until I talked to Emma. I still hadn't seen her or talked to her since the funeral, only because I didn't know what to say to her. Things seemed to be awkward right now. "Why were you in my bed?" my mom asked. Then I paused. I thought if I tell her the truth, she may think that I'm about to have a nervous breakdown or something. So I lied. "Well, with Bryant gone, Mom, it's just been hard for me to get any rest lately." "I'm sorry, sweetie. I didn't think about that. You can sleep in here whenever you want when your father is out of town. Everything will get better with time, Darcel. We just have to help each other out. We just have to help each other through it," she said, hugging me as tight as she possibly could. But the feeling that I was carrying in the pit of my stomach says otherwise. "I'm going to warm up the car. Get dressed," she said, grabbing for her purse. "Okay." I got dressed as fast as I could and met my mom at the car. We finally reached the school when she pulled up right in front. I'm sorry, my mouth is so dry. We finally reached the school where she pulled up right at the front to let me out. I kissed her and waved her goodbye. As soon as she shut the door, I heard a familiar voice calling my name. "Darcel." It was Emma. "It was good to see your face." Immediately, she threw her arms around my neck. "I'm sorry to hear about Bryant. I wish I could have been there for you after the funeral, but my mom thought it best to give you a little space and time," she said. "It's okay, Emma. I wanted to call you, but I didn't know what to say." "You're fine, Darcel. I'm here for you now if you want to talk." The look on my face said otherwise. "Or not." She quickly retracted her gesture. "Thanks. Maybe later. I don't want to be late for class. I will see you at lunch," I said, walking backwards. The truth was, I really did not want to have that conversation. I was really hoping that school would sway my mind for a while, like I told my mom this morning. I tried so hard to engage myself in every class, but it was so not working with my classmates giving me the stare down while at the same time whispering to each other. Finally, I had had enough of it. I stood up in anger, grabbed my books off the desk. As I proceeded to storm out the classroom, a new face walked in. "Class, this is Bay," my teacher said, standing up. I turned around and sat back down. In an instant, my anger had left me. It was like love at first sight, at least for me anyway. Bay had the most beautiful brown eyes, full lips, and brown skin. When he spoke hello, it felt like the room rumbled. What a deep, sexy voice he has. I think a little bit of drool left my lips right before Miss Brooks said my name. "This is Darcel." I wiped my mouth with my sleeve and waved hello. Then she moved on to the next student behind me. But even while she was introducing Bay to all the other students, our eyes never parted. Then the school bell rang. My love connection was broken. I fumbled picking my books back up off the desk, brushed my hair behind my ear, and darted out of the classroom for lunch. There was Emma waiting on me. Oh, how we had so much to talk about, starting with the name Bay. I sat down at the lunch table in front of her, but before I could open my mouth to tell her about him, I heard, "Who is the hottie?" she said, looking past me at him like she was going to put him on her lunch tray. "OMG, that's Bay," I whispered with my hand over my face, trying to be invisible. "You are so crushing on him," she said. "How is that? We haven't even spoken to each other." "Oh, well, I can fix that," she said. "Hey, pretty eyes," she shouted. "No, Emma, don't," I said, grabbing for her hand. Whew. He didn't even turn around. He just kept heading toward the lunch line. "I'm so sorry, Darcel," she said, "but girl, he is fine." We both laughed. "So, are we walking home together after school today?" "Yeah, just meet me by the swings." The swings had become our new meeting spot every day to walk home. Meanwhile, we both continued to catch up and eat our lunch. "Okay," Emma said, standing up from the table. "See you later, girl. It's time for the infamous PE class, which, by the way, did I mention I hate?" "Every time," I said, laughing and shaking my head. That girl has always hated any activity that meant she had to break a sweat. So in other words, she will be more than likely spending this whole period hiding out in the girls' locker room. After school, as planned, she and I met over by the swings. We enjoyed walking home after school. It gives us time to stay caught up in each other's lives. We mainly just gossip about what happened during the day at school. We took our normal shortcut through the woods that would bring us out to the main street. What was it about us teenagers and hanging out in the woods? After watching so many scary movies, you think we would stay far from it. Our walk started out as normal, although today our walk took us a little longer than usual because I was not in a rush to get home. That house just feels so empty now. I felt lost in it. We continued to laugh and talk as we walked the embedded trail that we made over the years from taking the same route home for so long. As we got closer, we could see the road. Then we began to hear noises in the distance as if something were following us. We brushed it off thinking, we are in the woods, so it's probably birds or deer nearby. We kept talking and walking. Suddenly, a strong wind blew past us, and the hairs on the back of my neck stood up as if something were breathing on me. "Emma, run!" We began running with our book bags weighing us down. We could see the lights up ahead shining through the trees. Finally, we were out of those woods and completely out of breath. "Why were we running?" "You didn't feel anything?" "Feel what?" she said with a confused look on her face. "That strong gust of wind that blew past us. I know for a fact there was something breathing on me," I said, placing my hand on the back of my neck. "Well, you know me. Run first, ask questions later," Emma said, laughing. "You're so stupid." "Well, at least we're out of those woods. Let's go," I said, glaring back at the woods with a sense of urgency in my voice. Not much longer after that, we arrived at my house. My house was a few streets up from Emma, so she would always end up walking the rest of the way home on her own. See you tomorrow, loser, I said, waving by. Okay, jerkface, she said, waving back. For the first time in what seemed like forever, I slept better than I had slept in days. I woke up stretching and feeling refreshed. I hopped out of bed and got ready for school. My mom dropped me off as usual, but only this time, Emma was not there to greet me, which was strange because she didn't tell me yesterday that she wasn't going to be here today. Well, I guess I'll just stop by her house after school. I walked towards my locker to drop off my book bag. When I got there, standing in front of my locker was the gorgeous Bay. Hello, he said with a smile. Hey, I replied with a half smile and a raised eyebrow. Where's your other half? I've only been here for a day and it seems that you two are joined at the hip, he asked. Well, if you must know, I haven't seen her. What is it to you anyway? Sorry, just trying to make conversation, I guess. I noticed you staring at me. I blushed. Sounds kind of arrogant if you ask me, and I don't stare. We just happen to look up at the same time is all. I swallowed deeply. It's okay if you don't want to admit it. I think you're kind of cute too, he said, walking off. I just stood there with this goofy grin on my face. I could get used to this. I grabbed my books out of the locker and headed to class. All day, I couldn't help but wonder where Emma was. It was really strange. She loved school. School to her was like social media. She enjoyed learning, but loved being in the spotlight even more, which is why I was so worried. The last bell rang. School was over. I had called my mom around lunchtime and asked her if she could pick me up and take me over to Emma's. I was not about to walk through those woods alone. Make your way home in an hour, my mom yelled out of the window pulling out of Emma's driveway. I knocked on the door. Her mother answered. Hey, Darcel. How are you, sweetie? Miss Linda asked, hugging me tight. I'm fine, just taking it one day at a time. How are you? She told me she was doing okay. Then she said that Emma was sick. She thinks she had caught some kind of bug that was going around. She pointed me up the stairs to Emma's room. When I walked in, she was stretched out on her bed with a rag on her head and a bucket beside her. Don't get too close, Miss Linda yelled up the stairs. She might be contagious. You don't have to tell me twice. I pinched my nose and smiled at her. Oh, shut up, laughed the sickly Emma as she slowly and carefully sat up in her bed. What the heck happened to you? I don't know, she said, shrugging her shoulders. I don't even remember making it home after I left from your house yesterday. I woke up in the bed this morning with a high fever, throwing up everywhere. Ugh, maybe you should keep your distance. I feel like shit. I heard that. Watch your mouth, young lady, Miss Linda shouted. We both giggled. Well, you definitely look and smell like shit, I whispered. What is that on your neck? I asked, leaning over trying to see. I don't know. It itches like crazy, though. Can you tell if it's a rash? She asked. Maybe something bit me when we were walking through the woods. Well, whatever it is, I need you to keep it over there, I said, laughing. I gotta get home. My mom is expecting me. Feel better, loser. All right, jerkface, Emma said, reaching for the bucket like she wanted to vomit. As I walked home, I got closer to my house. I could see a patrol car sitting across the street. Then that feeling of sadness came rushing over me again, reminding me of Bryant. Mom, I'm home, I yelled, walking in the door, throwing my book bag on the couch. Go hang that up, my mom said, turning the corner, scaring the crap out of me. Dag, Mom, you're stealth, like a ninja, I said, laughing. She smiled and rolled her eyes. Then she pushed back the curtains, looking out the window, and waved at the patrol car across the street. Mom, I said in a sad voice, why haven't we heard anything from the police about the case yet? Well, Darcel, I've been talking to the police. I will tell you that it's a lot going on right now. I feel it's too much for you to handle at the moment, But when the time is right, I promise we will have that talk, she said, wrapping her arms around me with tears in her eyes. And that is it for chapter 2. All right. Thank you guys for watching. And I'm pretty sure by the next time I'll be feeling better. So I will see you guys next week. Thank you.